Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we will start chapter 6. Here we're going to discuss Socio-Social Theory. Under Socio-Social Theory, we have stratified society. What do we mean by that? People grouped according to economic or social class, on equal distribution of wealth, power, and prestige. Under social class, it discusses where segment of population whose members share a similar economic level, attitudes, values, norms, and identifiable lifestyle. What are the problems of the lower class? We have culture of poverty, underclass, child poverty, minority group poverty, social, and crime. We're going to deal with social theory. We view disadvantaged economic class position as a primary cause of crime. We all remember Aristotle. He wrote that poverty is the parent of crime, which is still true today. What kind of programs can fight poverty, thereby also lowering crime? We will look at that. One of the programs of what we have nowadays, we have this Head Start going on in poor neighborhood to help kids start school early. And we also have the Boys Club and Girls Club that keeps teenagers engaged after school, to keep them away from getting into criminal behavior and keep them away from peer pressure that may lead them to committing crime. This social perspective encompasses three independent yet overlapping branches. One, social disorganization theory, which deals with institutions of social control that are broken down. Strain theory, it deals with strain in our society. And cultural defiance theory, which deals with the subculture in our society. Social disorganization theory links crime rates to neighborhood ecological characteristics. Crime rates are highest in transient, misused, and changing neighborhoods where fabric of social life has become frayed. Residents in those neighborhoods, in crime-ridden neighborhoods, flee at earliest opportunity. In other words, they will leave the neighborhood to move somewhere else. The work of Shaw and McKay, one of the criminologist researchers, look at transitional neighborhoods. In other words, the area of the neighborhood that is undergoing shift in population and structure. They look at what is called concentric zones. The socio-ecology school, it looks at community disorder, community fear, siege mentality, community change, and poverty concentration. Under the collective efficacy, we look at mutual trust, intervene in supervision of children, maintenance of public order. What are the forms of control that we have in society? We have informal social control, institutional social control, and public social control. What would be an example of those? And informal social control would be some kids in the house where baby going to church might help by him listening to the word to the word of the Bible, keep him from committing crime, such as obeying the Ten Commandments. When we look at institutional social control, what do we have? An example of institutional social control would be what? The prison system. If you commit a crime, what happens? You end up in the prison if it's a felony offense. An example of a public social control would be what? The police and the courts and the jail system. Strain theories, they view crime as a direct result of frustration and anger among lower socioeconomic classes. We look at theory, it looks at theory of anomie, social adaptations, deals with conformity, innovation, ritualism, retreatism, rebellion. We also look at the evaluation of anomie theory. We deal with social inequality leads to perceptions of anomie. Institutional anomie theory, it deals with what? Our American dream. Everybody has a dream of doing what? Getting a good job, getting married, having a family, and buying a house. Those are our goals. And we also look at the process that we go through to get there. Relative deprivation theory deals with envy, mistrust, aggression, resulting from perceptions of economic and social inequality. General strain theory, otherwise known as GST, looks at the negative affective states. It also looks at the multiple sources of strain, such as failure to achieve positively valued goals, such as getting an education and a degree, getting married, and having a family. Disjunction of expectations and achievements, removal of positively valued stimuli, presentation of negative stimuli. Consequences of strain and coping with strain and evaluating GST theory, general strain theory. Let's talk about cultural defiance theory. Combines effect of social disorganization and strain. It looks at members of the lower socioeconomic class, creates an independent subculture with its own set of rules and values. They also look at subcultural norms often clash with conventional values. Focal concern of the cultural defiance theory looks at how it promotes illegal or violent behavior, toughness, street smart, excitement, cultural transmission, and gang culture. Theory of delinquent subculture. Delinquent Boys was done by Albert Cohen. Look at status frustration, middle class measuring rods, formation of defiant subcultures, and reaction formation. Theory of differential opportunity. It looks at criminal gangs, conflict gangs, and retreatist gangs. Public assistance or welfare, improving community structure in inner city and high crime area would be a good policy that could counter the effect of crime when it comes to social theory. We also look at war on poverty programs such as Head Start for kids from an early age going to school, neighborhood legal services, community action programs, and communities that care. That's the end of chapter 6.